Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Friday, November 24th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. It is week 47 of 2023, and in my neck of the woods, it is currently 44 degrees with a high of 55 and a low of 37. Welcome to my broadcast. I'm here for the next 3 hours for coloring and companionship and chat and pretty pictures and off-key songs and whatever else happens to come up. Does not matter if you color or not. If you're looking for companionship, just come in and enjoy some pretty pictures. Welcome to my YouTube peeps who come in and chat with me. That's always fun. And welcome to my Facebook peeps who will see this broadcast after the fact because I downloaded into my group Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. All right. Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. Happy Friday to one and all, says Maggie. Maggie always likes to sing when she comes in the door. Thank God she's not off key when she does it. And hello to Linda and Michelle and Wally, and howdy right back at you. We have a family that likes to watch. When Linda comes in, her husband Wally and her daughter Michelle. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so what's on tap for tonight? Well, we've got our little Christmas gnome that we've been working on. This is Coloring Christmas Gnomes Jubilee, my next book that's coming out as soon as Amazon approves it. I always give away a freebie. We call it a duet. And the idea is that you color it with me. And we've been working on this little guy. And then our next project, this is from Country Christmas by Creative Haven. I'm right at the point where I'm just adding the little extras to it. I love how these geese turned out. Put a little glitter on there, acrylic paint for snow. So a few more minutes on this one, we're done. Okay, now this one here, I will be resuming this on Sunday. And this was a major project that we were working on. This is also from Coloring Christmas Wreaths and Jubilee. And because of the Thanksgiving holiday, I had a request that I wait until they get back from their travel, which I'm perfectly happy to do. And then we'll finish this little guy up. Okay, then for tonight, oh, and before I show this, and it's going to be depending on time, I'll be starting a new project. I'm going to go into Worlds Within Worlds by Kirby Rosanz. And I'm going to work on the sneakers. So if you have this book, haul it out Maggie, do you have this book? And we'll color out of that. All right, so that'll be pretty cool. All right, drum roll. Christmas Wreaths Jubilee, hot off the presses. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of it. Hopefully you guys will like the book. I had a great time putting it together. And this is book number 84 of my Jubilee collection. All right. So let me get rolling through this so we can get to the important stuff. All right. Now, if you guys would do me a favor and click that like button, that would be so appreciated. And if not now, at the end of the broadcast, or sometime during the broadcast. But see, you just love my bubbly personality. So that maybe will compel you to do it now. All right. So here's a list of all the other books that I've done so far. I try to get all of them on there. Let's get going. All right, my YouTube is acting really weird. Hold on. For some reason, it is not showing me what I'm currently broadcasting. Linda, you had to reboot? Okay. All right, let's try this again. It is really weird. It's showing me the wrong thing. Hold on. We'll try to get this straightened around. Yeah, when I go to YouTube, it's showing me that I'm showing you my intro. Oh, give me a minute. Give me a minute. There we go. Mine went backwards on the broadcast. Okay. Hi, Karen. Okay, we got it. All right, so let me get through this so we can get it going here. All right, now, I want to tell you something. Volume 2, I did a Volume 1. This is Volume 1. And these are the basic wreaths that are on here. But Volume 1 has one of these paper wreaths. That's this kind right here. And they're really gorgeous to color. Volume 2 has more of the paper wreaths, plus a mix of line art. All right. So there's the first image. So if you look at the detail on this, you can see the cutout of the paper. It's pretty nifty. And it makes for a beautiful effect when colored. Now again, the whole book is not that, but there's more of that in there. These scenes are absolutely gorgeous. And when you get to coloring them, they create a great picture. Merry Christmas on this one. Here's another paper wreath. Absolutely gorgeous images. Look at this one. You've got a lot of area to work with on the top here. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And don't let the shading intimidate you. I thought this one was pretty nifty. And look at this. Personally, I love straw wreaths. And if you were doing this one, I would suggest you do the wreath first and then the background after that. Love this candy cane one. Now here's a wreath within a wreath. This little tiny one up here. I thought that was pretty cool. Here's a completely filled in wreath. Love the angels around the outside. And then I've also got some very simple wreaths. This one is gorgeous. This will be really beautiful in the center when it's done up. Here's a vertical wreath. So what do you guys think so far? And again, don't let darker grayscale intimidate you. Cute little one, the hollies and the candy canes. The way I like to color wreaths is do the decorations first and then do the wreath itself. Did I duplicate a picture? No. Yeah, no, that's different. Okay. That happens every once in a while. I duplicate something. It's rare, but it happens. Linda, you like it? Look at this fuzzy wreath. I love these paper craft wreaths. And the way that we do things in this group, if you don't like something, is just say, not my cup of tea. I'm always interested on feedback. Now, what I would suggest, yeah, this is the one that Maggie did. Isn't that pretty? You can see the before and after on it. And she added some subtle shading at the top to make that really colorful. And I love how this greenery crawls up the side of it. So the book is not, as you can see, 100% these paper wreaths. And I love this one. It's just very simple. The wreath with the ribbon around it. Now, this one is wreathy. Here's the greenery around the outside. Oh, so it's a little different. And I love the birds in it. There's a bird over here. We've got one here, two birds on this little guy. So all different styles. Look at these little trees around the outside. here's a cutie. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And this one's full of birds. We got 4 birds on this one. Did I get too close? Yeah, I did. Pull out just a little bit. There we go. Here's some more of the paper wreath. Here's a natural wreath. Almost done. Ornaments, gingerbread, stars, a bell, and of course your ribbon and berries. Here's a very simple wreath. And here's another simple wreath with roses on it, greenery and rose. Now, I mainly stuck to Christmas wreaths, but this one, a little different. And look at this picture. Isn't that pretty? You could have a field day with this one, get some glitter in there. Here's a nice contrast wreath. Another paper wreath. So guys, what do you think? Merry Christmas on this one. I want to make sure you can see that whole thing. Pull out a little more here. It says Merry Christmas, top and bottom. And again, we've got our birds, 3 birds on this one. Now, this one I thought was really cool with the candles at the bottom. A little different on this one. All right, guys, I'm almost done so we can get to the good stuff here. And I love this grayscale poinsettia wreath. Cinnamon sticks, excuse me, as a wreath. I thought that was cool. And then here's another paper wreath. And I snuck this one in because of the wreath on the fireplace and the greenery. And then my thank you page, and you can color that one to your heart's content. Ornaments and wreaths. Ornaments and greenery. All right. And then let me zoom in real quick here. This will give you an idea of coloring up this stuff. Look at this one with the pink clouds. Isn't that beautiful, the pink and the gray? Anybody feeling inspired? All right, let me pull out. And then, of course, our line art wreaths. And then here's another one on the bottom where you can do the different colors on the clouds. I love this one. Look at this, the sunset and then the lights around the outside. I think that one is really pretty. Okay, let's get down to business. Pull out. Let's get our little gnome here. So again, for anybody that's interested, Christmas Wreath Jubilee, Volume 2. Lots of variety in it. So between the two books, you've got 100 wreaths that you could color. Oh my. Alrighty. So let me grab my paper towel. Hopefully you're enjoying doing this gremlin. Let's try that again. Oh, gnome. It's a gnome. Okay. So let's go ahead and do the glove. We'll start on that. I'm thinking I think black would look good. What would you guys think of black gloves? I'm going to leave this color up to you. Our other option is blue because of the bow. I don't know. I'm thinking black. We'll decorate that up a little bit. as well. Oh, let's see. Okay, so we know how to do black. We do our black, then we do a medium gray and a light gray. Yeah, I'm thinking black specifically because of the beard. If you don't want to do black, go ahead and do a different color. So we'll get our shading here. And I like my Prismacolor black. So there's our black. And then our medium gray. We'll blur those edges. Maggie, how are the kiddos doing at Disney? And I assume that they're coming back, what, Sunday? And then we have our light gray. Michelle, what do you think of the black? Oh, they're coming home tomorrow evening, Saturday. Gotcha. be sure to soften up your edges of your colors, right? And then I'm going to put my light gray over my button hole. You'll see why in a minute. And then I'm going to, oh, Linda, Michelle likes the black gloves. Okay. And this is a really good example of showing you how to get rid of your dark edges, right? And then I'm going to take my Faber-Castell 103, which is my ivory, and color up our poofy sleeve. And that's looking pretty cute. Now be careful not to get your black onto that ivory. And also make sure that your black line is very distinct against the ivory. See how sharp that is? There we go. And then I'm going to pop over to my other sleeve since I've got this pencil in hand. And I'm going to go ahead and put my ivory on my little poofy part. And then I'll go ahead and put my black on. Isn't that beautiful? Now make sure that you've got a good solid black near your edges. That's why I like the Prismacolor black. And then we'll start working in our medium gray. Again, we want to blur our line. And then we'll use our lightest gray. Now you know that when I color over buttons, that's because I'm going to add my own. Let me go back with my dark. And we'll soften that line. Okay. Now look how cute those black gloves look. All right. Let's see what we got here. Well, I see a button that I want to use, but I'm not sure that I've got 4 of them. Oh, wonder if these two are stuck together. Hold on. Yep. Cool. There's 3. Ooh, I am hopeful. I am hopeful. Yay! I got 4 of them. There is a button, God. Ha! All right. I love it. Luba, hello. Luba dooba doo, so glad to see you. Luba dooba doo, so glad to greet you. Luba dooba doo is with us tonight. Hello, Luba. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my glops on my other side as well. Oh, Maggie, you're back. Good. All right. So let's get our purple buttons on here. There we go. Let me pull out so you can see this. Isn't that cute? And of course that glue will dry clear. Now, you can take your darkest pencil, if you've been careful with your glue, and expand the size of your glove around the buttons. Check it out. There you go. I love it. Now, I think we're okay on this side. But I'm still going to add just a little more glove here. Not much. And if we feel that we need to balance out the size of the gloves, yeah, I can zoom out, sure. Luba, give me a second here. I'm expanding the size of this glove to match the size of the other glove. And that way we've got our balance. Luba, it's a gnome. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do his pants. Thank you, Luba. It's from it's from my newest book, Coloring Christmas Gnomes Jubilee. Okay, now I'm going to put a checkered pattern on the outfit. Actually, it's really a stripe pattern. So I'm going to get a pink and a green pencil. And I'll go ahead and start the pattern here on the arm so you can get the idea. So I'm going to put the green down. And then right next to it, the pink. Right next to that. And then I'm going to grab a blue. Oh, I want a darker blue. Hold on. Darker blue. Oh, let's see. Let me get in a little closer. I'm going to run a dark blue this way. Check it out. Let's get our ivory color here. All right, everybody see what I'm doing with this? And then I'm going to take a little bit of my ivory and I'm going to color in between my squares. And that way we add a little bit of color to the whole shebang. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do the main part of the outfit. Ah! Oh, I hate that when my eraser does that. Made a little smudge. All right, I'm just erasing like mad now to get rid of that smudge. Okay, so now I'm going to take my green and then right next to it, the pink. And you want your lines to be as sharp as possible. Here's our green. There's our pink. There's our green. There's our pink. And I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of pink on that edge on the outside. Along with a little bit of green. What? All right. Here's our next green. Now, if you want to, let me pull out. You could use a protractor to color in your lines, but I wanted the more casual look. All right. Here's our pink. Now I'm going to slide over here. We'll go ahead and get the outfit on the other side. I'll pull out so you can see. All right. So you want to approximate your lines. There's my green. There's my pink. Green and 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 pink. Okay. So that's what this looks like at the moment. And then I'm going to come through. Now I'm going to erase, just clean this up in between. And then I'm going to come through and I'm going to draw my blue in here, perpendicular to my green and my blue, green and pink. So now you can see how the pattern is starting to come together. Now, just to remind you, gnomes are not known to dress in clothing that's going to necessarily match or make sense. So that's why our little gnome here is wearing these checkered pants. Okay. I'm going to turn my pictures to make it easier for me to do my parallel lines. Now, don't get fussy if your lines aren't perfect. But like I said, you can use a protractor to straighten them out. Check it out. Questions, coloring comments? And then I'm going to use my Faber-Castell 103, which is my ivory. And color in between these squares. And you want to be careful that you don't color over your lines. You want to get in between your squares. And what you're going to notice is that this area in between the pink and the green line is coming out a little lighter because that's the white from the paper. And that's giving us another shade. Hi, Kathy. Kathy, happy Thanksgiving. Okay, now I'm going to turn my page here. It's just easier for me. So I'm to the left here, filling in these little squares. It's the right-hand side of the gnome. Check it out. And then where I use my green on the edge, I'm going to come in and shade these pants. With my lightest green. It's the green that I used earlier. Check it out. And the neat thing of doing it this way is that our green and our pink stripes or lines hold up beautifully. Happy Thanksgiving to one and all. All right, let's go to our left-hand side. We'll do the same thing. So if you ever want to add a pattern to an area that you're coloring, this is a way that you can do it. And the reason that I added the ivory first when I did this is because it tones down the white. Isn't that cute? Now I'm going to take my same green and I'm lighter still than what I did on the edges. I'm just going to go over that center portion. Just give it a little swoosh of green just to tint that. So my edges are still darker, the sides, but that center is just tinted down just a little bit. Check it out. Kathy, I did a quick walkthrough of my newest book. It just released Christmas Wreath Jubilee Volume 2. So if you're interested, you'll need to go back and watch the video. So we have different styles of wreaths. Specifically, these wreaths that are made out of paper, the shapes. So you're coloring this pattern, and here's an example of it on the front that Maggie did. So if you're interested, it's there. Okay. What? No. Hold on, guys. Be right back. Miss Luba, good night. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, I'm about to change over projects. So there you go. Okay, and while I'm here, I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to my bell. So we've got a deep gold bell with our pattern on it. Kathy, you like the pants? So that's how you add a pattern to something like this. And I've told you all along that when you put colored pencil down on something, it sticks and the color stays. That's the neat thing about it. And that's why we're able to do something like this. Okay. So now you know. All right. Next project. I was just finishing up this little guy. I don't have much more to go on it. Oh, let's see here. So I'm going to get out my paint and finish up what I was doing. My Snow White happens to be Apple Barrel brand. Okay, let's play. All right. So white paint, Apple brand. This is the one that I happen to have. And then my toothpick. And let me continue what I was doing last night. I love the snow on the numbers. I just think that looks so cool. I really don't have, like I said, that much more to go. And all I'm doing is I'm just putting a little bit of that white on the edges. And I want you to notice that I'm not overloading at all. All you have to do is just hint at that white. So white acrylic paint and a toothpick. And last night what I did is I sprayed, when I was done coloring, I sprayed the page with my Krylon fixative. And the reason that I did that is because I wanted to create a barrier between my white acrylic paint and my pencil so that my paint wouldn't turn color. In other words, turn green where I was putting it. Now you're still going to get that a little bit. And what I would suggest that you do, I have a time constraint here because I wanted to show you this. So you spray your page, let it dry overnight, and then if you have to spray it again, in other words, put a second layer on that. Karen, good night. Now, like I said, don't go crazy. With your white. Let me pull out just a little bit. This is definitely the situation where less is more. Don't go crazy with your paint. All right. And remember, if you ever get too much on a spot, oh, Domino, quit. Domino wants up on my table and I don't have room while I'm broadcasting. That's that meowing that you're hearing. Oh, gonna sneeze. Domino does have a box. She's my cat, by the way. She does have a box underneath my table that she can sit at. Yeah, she just wants to say hi. What she wants is to stretch out on the hardness of my table here. No, Domino, quit. Okay, let's get over to this heart. Get a little snow on there. Now our shine line is different than our snow, right? Make sure that you understand the difference. Oh, let's see the area up here. And this whole thing is coming out ridiculously pretty. Thank you, Linda. And get a little paint on our bells. And again, don't just dab on paint anywhere. Don't get sloppy. Okay, I need to go back to the left a second. Because I didn't put my snow on my tree on this left-hand side. Let me zoom in. I got it on the roof of the house, but I didn't put it on the tree. Now, a toothpick works beautifully to do this. Oh man, that looks so pretty. And now that I've got it on the tree, it looks really pretty. What are you guys working on while I'm doing this? I'm going to put a little bit more on my bow here. All right, now we're in good shape. That looks so ridiculously pretty. See it? Linda, you're on the gnome. Maggie, you're working on a Julie Sperry winter mode. Yeah, Kathy, Domino is saying, but Mommy, it's my desk, especially since it's heated. So coloring challenge for Kathy? Yeah. Don't forget to peek at your screens once in a while. While I'm doing this for you. I'm just using my X-Acto knife to get rid of a paint smear. Now, if you really wanted to be detailed, hold on, I gotta put a little water in my paint. There we go. If you really wanted to be detailed, we could go ahead and add a little bit of paint on our, where am I? There we go. On our berries on the top. It takes 2 seconds. To do that. And it looks really good. Excuse me. Remember, guys, you want to tell the viewer of your picture that you cared enough to put the time and effort into your coloring. Look at that. See, just little dots. To do a detail like this. And it looks absolutely terrific. Oh, Kathy, your screen is next to your coloring page. Oh, cool. Well, that makes me feel good. Look how cute this looks, guys. Isn't that pretty? Remember, guys, what's the phrase that I used the other day? You want to what? Entertain the brain of your viewers. Or you can say entertain the brain of your audience. Either way. Look how cute that wreath looks with those little dots on the berries. Okay, I'm on the lantern. Not to be confused with the green lantern. And we've got some more berries here. Now, the idea is hit the berries at the top if they're not too tiny. Hold on, I got a couple of more berries up here, clusters. What a difference this makes when you do that on those berries. Okay. I'm adding a little more white on this greenery. Just on this particular one. And then we've got the bells over here. We did those, right? And then we're going to put a little bit of our snow on our ornament, not to be confused with the shine line. Now we can take the snow and dip it down a little bit. Kind of like icing on a cake. And that way it makes your snow look more active. Check it out. Okay. Let's go back to the top of our lantern. Now we've got these little ridges here. So we need to catch those as well. Check it out. Look how cute that looks. Okay, now I have to slide to the right. I'm just working down my page, so I'm going horizontally here. To get where I need to be. Top of our ribbon. We'll zip up the side here. And down the side of the ribbon. Now, let me say this. Once you commit to putting your snow on this, don't do a half-assed job. You need to think about where the snow is going to land on the piece that you're decorating. Now I'm inside the lantern here on this greenery. And you also have to be careful that you don't get too much in a pattern. Whoop, got a little too much there. Let's wipe that off. Isn't that pretty? Okay, let me pull out a little bit. Top of our lantern itself. There we go. And I need to catch our little Christmas card here. We'll spot that on there. And that's another thing, is you don't want to just be drawing lines of paint. And pull in just a little. So here's our berries. Notice that I'm not putting on just a dot, I'm putting on a little streak. Makes a difference. In other words, think when you're doing this stuff. Is what I'm saying making sense, guys? Okay, let's see where we are here. Oh, top of our lantern here, where our little ridges are. And look at the level of detail here. That when you do something like putting snow in between the ridges of your lantern, oh my gosh, what a difference, right? Again, you want to entertain the brain of the person that's looking at your piece. And as they look at the individual parts of your coloring, you want them to see things like that. Okay. Give me a second here. I need to clean out my little cup here that I've got my paint in and put fresh paint in. Okay. Let me put in a new dollop of paint here. I'll pull out so you can get an overall view. There we go. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to grab a little water for myself. Let's continue. Now I don't have too much more to do on this. So I'm on the right hand side. I have a double layer here of the greenery. Let's see, put a little on there. So what I've started to say is once you start doing this, like I said, don't do a half-assed job. But the other side of that comment is don't put on your paint for the sake of putting on your paint and overloading your piece. What you do needs to make sense. And part of it making sense is how the greenery is angled in your coloring. If it makes sense that snow would fall on it, that's where you put your snow. I'm just reapplying some of my snow from yesterday that turned a little bit on the green side. Okay, so we've got a tiny little wreath, or a small wreath here. Now, this is one of those wicker wreaths. What's the word I'm trying to use? You know, that twiny stuff? So where is the snow going to fall? It's going to fall in between the twine part, right? That's why we can justify putting on our extra snow coverage. Okay. Handle. Notice how it's short on one side and I made the snow longer on the other. All right, so we've got some more berries here. We'll hit those at the top. And notice I'm not just putting dots, I'm bringing down the snow. I've curved it a little bit. Details, guys, details. And then we've got our little heart that we use nail polish on. So we'll catch that. Now remember, this is not a shine line, it's snow. And I missed coloring the little cord on it. And I've got to get a little bit of silver here. for the top of that ornament. Details, guys, details. Here we go. Fixed. Okay. So back up near the lantern here. I'm on the right-hand side. We'll get our snow there. It's on the top of our loop here. Now I'm going to add a little bit of snow down that cord of our wreath. Notice that the line is not a solid white. And then that little loop right there that's holding up the top of the sock. We curve our snow on that. Okay. Now to the right of our lantern, our greenery. Now our snow is going to be a little thicker at the top of the greenery than at the bottom. So notice how I put a little more paint up here than I did at the bottom. Now, our candle. Our wax has melted. And it's solid now. So guess where I'm going to put snow? Just on the tips of it, away from the flame. Okay. Now we have our sock ornament. A little bit of snow across the top. We've got our buttons. There you go. You're going to add snow on those as well. Isn't that cool looking? I'll bet you weren't expecting that. Okay. Greenery to the right. we'll just put it on the top there as opposed to the top and the bottom. Are you learning something? All right, let's get the left-hand side here. All right, here's our greenery to the left. Hopefully I won't get my hand in my paint. But that is a foregone conclusion that it's going to happen. Okay. Right hand side. Now, in this case, I know that I'm going to be adding snow to the top of the loop of the ornament, so that's why I'm not going to add snow to the bottom of the greenery, because it's going to take away from what I'm trying to do. Does that make sense? That's some of the stuff you got to think about. And we'll get some snow at the base here of our little ornament doohickey. Okay, couple more areas here. I'm doing the greenery to the left of the sock. Which you'll be able to see if I stay on camera. Oh, how ridiculously pretty is this? Now I'm at the greenery in the lower right-hand corner. And again, you want your snow pattern to be random. I'm going to add a little more snow right here. Now, I'm going to go back to my candle here, my other candle, and I'm going to add on that melted wax a little bit of my white. Let's see. I've got some bells here on my left goose that I missed. I mean, guys, this was quite a snowfall, right? Remember, guys, your piece should tell a story. You haven't heard me say that in a long time. Okay. And a couple more spots where I'm going to put some snow. Our packages have been sitting outside for a little bit. And we've got some snow on that. Now, you don't have to necessarily go all the way across. And in fact, if you think about it, this package sitting on top is going to keep the snow underneath it really from accumulating. So I'm going to peter that out a little bit. Let's see, my door bow. We'll put a little bit on the tips. Okay, now the artist added some snowfall on here. All right, well, first of all, take a look at this. Questions or coloring comments? Yeah, it was a blizzard. Now, the artist added some snow falling. So we need to go ahead and address those. Let's see where they are. Up there. If you want to add a couple more, which I do. Hold on, I got to add a little more paint. You guys remember when we did that toy store, the front? And I showed you how to splatter paint to make it look like it was snowing. I'm going to put a little bit of snow on the door here. I am not thrilled with that door at all. The artist used scribble lines to indicate the shading on it. Not my fav look. Okay, so I'm going to put a couple of snowflakes on the Christmas tree. And then we've got some by our geese where those black, ugly black lines are. So I'm just going to color them with glops of white paint. Now, remember how I colored the snow with a little bit of blue? With this white snow, that's really going to show up now. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to come over here. We'll put a little bit of snow near our lantern. And yes, we can put snow on top of our greenery. See it? And notice that I'm going to put a snow partway off this ornament because I want it to look like not part of the ornament. All right. Same type of thing here, off a little bit to the side. Now, remember when I colored that border black? Notice how I'm putting the snow on the border as well. Isn't that cool looking? Hold on, a little more paint. I've got to get more paint. I thought I had 2 thingies of it. Add white paint to my Amazon shopping list. All right. So now our piece is going to look really dimensional. Because we've got white paint infringing on the border, right? And don't just put white dots down the border, you got to put them on partially. Otherwise it's going to look funny. All right, let's go up near the top. I'm just turning my piece. I am having way too much fun with this. Let's do the same thing down the left-hand side. Again, your dots need to be partway off the page or border onto the coloring. Otherwise, it's just going to look like you're putting white dots on your black line. And I'm just reapplying some white to my Christmas tree because they're turning a little green. Oh, that looks ridiculously cute. Now, let me... Kathy, good night. I've got 20 more minutes to go. Now, notice I'm putting my white, staggering it on my border at the bottom. And I'm going to put a few more on the door. Remember, guys, stagger your snow. Otherwise, they're just going to look like polka dots. Guys, I think we're in pretty good shape. Hopefully you like what you see. All right, let me pull out. I think I'm calling this one done. What do you think, guys? Linda, Maggie? Not your cup of tea, or do you like it? Oh, okay. Maggie says wowzer. Okay. Didn't want to forget to put some on the geese. I think we're in pretty good shape. And notice you can put this white near where the snow is laying on the lantern, because you're making little circles. Linda, too much snow for you. Okay. I am calling this one done. And of course I'll be spraying my Krylon Fix Stiff on top of that, just to seal everything. Linda, did you not like the snow on top of the objects? Or is it too much snow dots? Okay. Calling this one done. Next project, Kirby Roseanne's World Within Worlds. I'm going to tackle the two sneakers. Oh, it's the dots. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, I'm going to start on the building. I only have a few minutes, but that's okay. I'm going to start on the building. Get our paper towel here. And what I'm basically going to be doing by doing the buildings first is I'm going to isolate the sneakers. Anybody else have this book that's watching? I'm going to turn this, a little more convenient for me. Don't forget to turn your pencil to keep that point sharp. Let me pull out so you can see how this is starting to look already. And then I'm going to come in with what? A darker brown, right? Because we want to create dimension in these wood slats. All right. So notice I'm working on my edges here at the top. And I'm sticking to the lines that were drawn in. Check it out down the side here. And I want you to notice that I'm slightly below the line. Take your time. Get that shading in. All right. Looking good. All right, let me pull out so you can see it. We're starting our first piece here, or part. Okay, we got a lot done. So we started our Kirby Roseannes. We finished our Country Christmas by Creative Haven. And I showed you how to create a pattern on our gnome. So tomorrow night will be the hat and the background. I expect to finish it tomorrow night, which will work out beautifully because Sunday, which is when Sandy gets back, I'll be back on our gnome and our wreath. All right. That timing works out perfectly. I'm glad it did. I would have hated to start another duet with only one day. Okay, guys, and I also did a quick walkthrough of my newest book. Well, recently released. My newest book is Christmas, Coloring Christmas Gnomes Jubilee, and I'm just waiting on approval of that. So this is volume 2, Christmas Wreath Jubilee. So yeah, we got a lot done. Okay, guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Guys, it's joyous coloring. I'll be here tomorrow night, same time, same place. We can see what else trouble we can get into. Hope you learned something. Hope you had fun. Have a great rest of the evening. Guys, love on each other. That's what our group is known for. Take care. And I'll see you then. Bye.